Couldn't believe this. I was actually going to about to go rest up. Pardon me, I was about to go rest up for a second just now, right? But something said, yo, just look at certain things before I go to sleep. You know, sometimes I go through my phone, I look at certain things before I go lay down. But you remember I told you during the year, when was it? 2013, I think. I was on Flatbush. You know, this guy Capo cut. Let me show you. This guy Capo had cut my neck, right? And that was 2013. But after that incident had happened, right? I was coming from further in Mill Basin in the shopping area, and then I was making documentaries on Sandus for international security and other things because I told you my mind just started going a certain type of way, and I'm like, yo, man, what's going on a certain type of way? And then I started speaking about a lot of things with international security because, you know, if somebody's going into the depth of my value, now listen to this. If somebody's trying to rob my wife and then going into the depth of value because I'm the one that made all astrological empresses. So if somebody was going into the depth of value a certain type of way and they were trying to rob my wife, I'm gonna be acknowledged for the situation because my wife ain't gonna want me to know, but I'm gonna end up being acknowledged for the situation because I'm a consciousness that really literally made the Triple Crown Empresses and other empresses, the majestic empresses, all astrological trees, like of all stars, all astrology, all constellations, on all levels of physics. So, you know, during the year 2013, I was coming from somewhere and then I got hit by a car, but it was like a bald-head Jewish lady. She looked like the lady from the commercial, that cancer commercial. You know the lady that be having a head tie on the cancer commercial and stuff? She looked just like the lady on the cancer commercial, but I got hit by a car and stuff. You know, I was crossing the street and then the car came over the yellow line. You know how the cars go this way, and the cars go this way, and then you have the when you cross. When I was crossing to the side on the side of Flatbush, I got cross through to walk to my house between where was it? Between 35th. It was between 35th and Avenue J. It happened in Flatbush. I'm crossing across the street to to actually it was between Flatbush and 35th and 34th. It was on Flatbush because it was I didn't get to Avenue J yet. It was right on the tip of 35th. It was literally right on the tip of 35th and Flatbush between 34th and 35th while I'm going I was crossing the street going towards J. And then as I'm crossing the street, I'm on this side of the road where the cars, you know, the cars are going this way and then the other cars on the other side of the street, the yellow line was going this way. I didn't even get to the yellow line. I was like probably one lane before I even reached the yellow line. This car, it was snow, it was cold. This car came out of nowhere. I mean, like literally nowhere, and hit me right on Flatbush. Like, bam! It hit me so hard. Yo, it hit me so hard. A person, I should have been dead. Yo, a word to everything. The car hit me so hard, I should have been dead at the time. The car hit me, and then the car bounced off of me. It was like, yo, it looked like the weirdest scene because when the car hit me, the car bounced off of me like literally bounced. Like you know how the side of the car just picked up and stuff like that. It bounced off of me, and then it went to like near past like it passed 35th, went to like near the Queen Right and stuff like in the pulling of the 35th. So, you know, it hit me hard, so I was like, oh man, it bounced off of me. And when it bounced off of me, like the side rear view mirror broke and stuff because I put my arm to kind of block it. Also, at the same time, in the side rear view mirror, the car broke. So I was, yo, it felt like I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I started walking across the street. I walked to the store, and I went and sat down on the store in the store, and I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't, you know, I couldn't just walk. You know what I'm saying? I had to go sit down for a second. I was seeing like white flashes and stuff. I'm trying to kill my composure in the store. This lady comes in. She looked like the cancer lady from the commercial. She was like, yo, she was like, can I, can I call an ambulance for you? I said, call an ambulance for me? What the fuck? I said, no, you can take me to my house. She was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't, I got kids in the car and all types of stuff. I said, oh. I said, nah, that's okay. You don't gotta call an ambulance and stuff, She was like, no, I think I should call the ambulance for you. I said, no, I don't need the ambulance. I'm like, I don't really need the ambulance. I can't at the time. So then, I went outside. I started feeling mad, lightheaded again. I was like, oh man. I said, damn, man, this lady almost killed me. So I sat down on this BMW that was outside and stuff. I sat down on the BMW and I'm like, oh man. I'm like, wow, man, this lady. She came here to kill me or something. She just came out of nowhere. I was like, you could take. She was like, she would call me, but you couldn't take me. I was like, but she had kids in the car, so I don't know how the kids feel. They probably were nervous and stuff. Like, oh my God, you almost killed this guy and stuff. And then I walked home, but I had my foot was throbbing, but I ended up walking home and stuff because of what I had on. A certain type of way, my foot was fractured, but because of what I had on, it didn't break. So I was like, oh man. I was like, whew. I stayed home. I took it off. I'm like, oh man. And it literally, I was making documentaries because I just saved international security's life that night, making those documentaries on the Sanders ship. You had to know exactly what I was speaking about. It was so real because as I'm saying this, I was on the documentary. As soon as I'm saying this, I'm like, yeah, I just saved international security. It's like, international security should pay me because I just saved them. Look at the thing I just told you. And then the car hit me, bang! I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking about it, right? And what made me think about this just now, I'm going through my phone online and stuff, and then I see something about this, one of my daughters. But, I haven't seen her in such a long time a certain type of way. Like, I haven't seen it. Like, listen, I'm literally recovering, so I'm kind of getting my memory back a certain type of way, slow. If a person's coming out of a coma a certain type of way, the way I'm getting my memory back is different from another person, what a person would expect. So when I'm noticing certain things and realizing things about myself, it's different of the physical reality because the things I'm realizing the way I'm realizing it. And then I see something about this girl that was an R&B singer named Natanya Reed. And she had got, something I was looking at online and stuff. And I'm reading about something, and I'm like, yo, I got hit. But the thing that happened to me, I don't know, Pop, did it. Because I'm looking at two different pictures. I'm looking at my daughter, and then I'm looking at some next chick a certain type of way. But they're both my daughter, but I'm looking at another chick another type of way, a certain type of way. So it's like I'm looking at the situation, I said, nah, this can't be what I'm looking at and stuff. But then I see another picture of my son. And then the nigga's okay, he has my other son, he has fronts in his mouth. Then I see a picture of my other son. This nigga all tatted up and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, something going on a certain type of way. But I didn't read about it. I didn't read about the situation too much a certain type of way and stuff. It's just like, if my children, I know my children, they should have been in like, how can I say this? They should have been in, Milwaukee, or they should have been in Wyoming, or they should have been in Chicago. Like the kids I'm looking at on a certain, my children, they should have been in those places, but I haven't seen them in such before I got shot. You know what I'm saying? Before the last time I seen them is before I got shot in Brooklyn. But this is what my memory's telling me and stuff. So it's just like Nah, I couldn't. Ah, yo, man. I'm just thinking about it like, yo, shouldn't that have been in Wyoming or Milwaukee? Or, or at a certain time, they should have been in Savannah. Really, Savannah, or they would have been in like Louis, outside the skirts of Louisiana, like Colorado. Yeah, like Colorado. I don't know what they were doing when I'm hearing, well, then again, it's another type of situation if I'm hearing something certain type of way, but I'm looking, I'm like, but they don't even be here like that. That's the whole point. That, like, my daughter, if she came to visit me, that would have been something different. But my son is not even supposed to be here. Like, I'm like, but I didn't even know. Yo, listen, I'm looking at pictures and I didn't even know the nigga was in the industry and everything a certain type of way. That's wonderful. It's very wonderful. But it's just like I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, this is that my child? What is my son out there? Hey man, I'm looking at the picture and I'm like, I know that's my daughter. So anyway. I'm looking at it anyway, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm reading about something of her. It felt kind of sad, a certain type of way, and I'm like, nah, I couldn't do it. But what I'm reading is like she was dealing with something. I think something. I think niggas went and got her killed. Somebody tried to do something to her. It wasn't something that or something just like that. That's impossible if you really know the situation and stuff. But I'm like, yo, man, anyway, man, I don't get into the situation. I'm just looking at the situation like, I couldn't believe it, but I got hit by a car on Flatbush. I live in a Flatbush. You gotta know, over where I'm at, it's like the 63rd precinct. You don't have too much going on. You have like little, back in the days, well, not over there in Flatbush, you didn't have, I don't know if you had like, say for instance, um, I don't know, like back in the days, you didn't have too much, like, you had Spanish people and stuff like that, like, there's not too much things that go on around my way and stuff, it used to be like, the Zulu Nation, probably a Latin Kings, probably back, but not in the Flatbush area where I was, like, they probably passed through, but they never really hung out in nowhere near Flatbush area. You have to go other areas to see things like that, like Yetas, Latin Kings. I used to hang out with those people back in the days, though. Like, yeah, when I was younger and stuff. But I never got into stuff with them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that was the type of life. That type of life it ain't type of life for me. So then, on Flatbush where I'm at, you had all type of VMT little gang groups back in the days. But then you started getting little Bloods, little Crips here, little Bloods here. Well, you had not Bloods, but you could say you had Damu. You had Damu around me where over Flatbush. Like before, it used to be little Bloods here and there, but then there was Damus. Then you had Crips, little Crips and stuff, and then you had other little, VTM, uh, Pulley Kids, You had like other little miscellaneous groups and stuff. You know, it was funny situations and stuff. But I don't get into it. But when I'm looking at on the line, I'm like, yo, listen, you ever seen, yo, I don't look at my kids a certain type of way at the time because if they were really concerned about me, if they really cared, they had acknowledgement where they could have found me and came and to see how I'm doing. They could have really found me themselves. Like my kids were knowledgeful enough, they could have found me themselves. I didn't have to go looking for them. So when you have a person that's, you know what I'm saying, not looking for them, probably, you know, everything that happens to me probably happened for a reason. But the funny thing is, in physics, another person wouldn't realize certain things that's happening, and then the way it happens, another person's wondering what the situation is, and then another person just wouldn't pop. Like I told you, you even have my brothers, just like I tell you about witchcraft. You had people that wanted to get into harmonical vibal witches just to bring down their harmony and their magic, but by using their magic or them doing certain things is fucking them up in life because other people was trying to get rid of them, so they were trying to find a way of physics of harmonical frequencies to fuck them up and just drive down the situation just to fuck their situation up. So yo, you know, probably whoever they were messing with was probably couldn't. You have somebody that learned something about somebody. You never had. It's like being a drug dealer. You're the man doing certain things, and the next thing you know, another person wants that's not about the situation a certain type of way. Probably not even your purity. They learn a little something a certain type of way about you, your sacredcy. They start interfering with your habitation and your receptiveness. It's just like having like an outside child that's trying to show a parent of the house they're better than you, so they could get receptiveness and have a person care about you to make you look bad and then they look good, but they did it on purpose to fuck you up for your parent trying to show you the importance of life. And then when they do something to fuck you up, it be too late because your parent tried to warn you about certain other things, and then your parent having consideration about other things that happen. It's just like my son, what the niggas from Cash Money, what the niggas did to my sons in Cash Money. The nigga baby and them knew about my kids in Cash Money, but the nigga learned certain things a certain type of way, and then he just went all over with it because he just wanted to learn everything. And that's, you know, anyway, I don't get into the situation and stuff, though, you know, because I'm not going to speak about it a certain type of way concerning that nigga also. So, you know, but another nigga doesn't, you know, he looks at my situation a certain type of way at a time, and, you know, anyway. So, you know, I don't get into it because another nigga be like, yo, who is this nigga? I'm a nigga that used to, back in the days before I got shot, I used to be with all the niggas. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. You know, I used to be with other niggas. Really, I used to be all in Asia, China, and all type of places back in the day. And then I was with other individuals. So a lot of people acting like they don't know me. Some people don't want to believe the situation is me. Then I told them what, anyway, it don't even matter. I don't even give a fuck. So I'm going to go live my life regardless. But it's just the fact is, looking at individuals and the funny things that they do. So when a person's denying themselves, you see the things that happen to people when they do it to themselves a certain type of way because their conscience is being demoralized, so they do not. So certain things that happen. It's just like I told you, it's like a person. It's like imagine if she was in a relationship and then somebody was just demoralizing her relationship, causing her relationship to like this Latanya Reed. Say somebody was demoralizing her relationship, causing static interference in her relationship, and then planning to fuck up just to go further a certain type of fuck up. They're like they wanted to go further a certain type of way. And I'm speaking about Latanya Reed. And then if certain things happen. So now imagine a person at a time because they see something a certain type of way, then they fuck up a situation because they want another situation a certain type of way. And it's just like having a family member. You ever have like a younger sister and then say you have the responsibility of really having a habitation a certain type of way. But then you have like a younger sibling or something that wants the acknowledgement that's the way you have it. And then they go deal with people that's on your level to get rid of you so they can get the acknowledgement, and then other people want your acknowledgement for a certain type of way. The younger sibling doesn't know what's really going on, the reason of the responsibility, and then if they get it, another person already is on doing certain things another type of way that's more than their situation. So as they learning, then the situation the situation, say something happens a certain type of way, a person's mad, but the ignorance that's caused a certain type of way, it's just like being manipulated. You ever had somebody be in a relationship and somebody causing you to go cheat a certain type of way, and then next you know when you cheat, you find out you fucked yourself up by cheating, and then the other person that you know that they're with, the same thing could happen to them, but another person doesn't want them to know, and then say if I was in a relationship with one chick, and then she's getting in a situation, she cheats on me with somebody. Then I'm supposed to be in a relationship with this next chick. But because the first one cheated on me, the other nigga knows at the time I'm supposed to be in a relationship with this chick, and you know, I say I'm about to get into a relationship, then he interferes and causes her to go the opposite way because he already deterred the first situation. And then when the other one goes to go be with me a certain type of way, the one that fucked it up gets to her, and then he fucks up her life because she didn't even get to me to even know what's going on. And then she ended up fucking the same type of way with the other one, and then her life fucked up because the other stupid nigga is getting into situations, and because another person is pleasing them, because another person is just you. Certain how people network a certain type of way may be cutthroat in individuals. So if you have an individual going around like cutthroat with individuals, you know, look at this. This nigga Capo cut my throat, right? And then I got the tattoo one day. The nigga came and cut my throat. I literally had to go get the tattoo fixed right after that. Right? As soon as he did that, I had to go get the tattoo fixed. I'm like, look at this nigga cut the fucking road. And then the funny thing is, when the nigga did that, yo, my nigga, they just cut an olive bush tree that was growing by my house. Some Haitian people came around and just literally cut it for no reason. It was growing out. It was growing humongous, and it was going in a nice shape. And then they cut it for no reason and stuff. And then they put some white paint on it. They put some white paint on the root when they cut it. And then one day when I come outside and I seen this guy named Toma just painting the bars of the window that was white. He's painting it brown and stuff. And then he was putting white paint over it. I'm looking at the nigga at the time like, yo, this nigga, I just didn't want to say nothing. I was, oh my God. Then when I went back to Brooklyn, individuals cut the rose bush. I just looked at it like, hey, you know, it didn't make no sense. It didn't make no sense to me. So it was just like, I just look at the situation like whatever. Like, you know, it is just funny. And then everything that was happening around them times, like getting hit by a car, people putting me in the hospital, hitting me, giving me drug injections. They were hitting me with drugs and injecting me with drugs and stuff. And then on top of it, another person's thinking like I'm some child, like I was fucking up their life because I just had the energy naturally and they didn't want anybody knowing anything about me. And then I'm the real Magi Star Emperor of the real husband of the astrological empresses. And another person's cutting their consciences. A person says, why are people doing that? Because the drugs they're taking. They brought me to the hospital, pumping me with drugs. For what reason? I don't know. They trying to pump me with depressant drugs and all types, fucking up my conscience. Like people didn't even want me realizing things about my life. They were fucking up my. I'm looking at people like, oh my God, yo, these people must be stupid. And then look at this today. Let me show you the date and time. Matter of fact, yo, look at this. I'm looking online. I'm online looking at the situation, and look what I found online. Yo, my nigga, you wouldn't believe. I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at the picture like, wait a minute. But this looks like, I don't know why I'm telling you. This is like, I'm like, yo, listen, my nigga. This is weird, right? And I'm telling you about the situation. I don't know why I'm making it on YouTube, really, my nigga. I shouldn't even say that. Because I'm looking at the situation like, these look like my kids from like, something's telling me these are my kids from Colorado. Like, they would never be from Wisconsin. Never like, hey, you know, Savannah. You know, like my kids from Savannah, Colorado, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Milwaukee, Chicago. You know, I own Chicago also. I'm the Haitian nigga that, yeah, I'm the Haitian guy that's, well, I'm not Haitian, I'm the Iceland guy that owns Chicago. I'm the original owner of Chicago. TP, yo, my nigga, TPP, my nigga. They call me Lil TP, my nigga. There's something wrong with your white people. I'm gonna tell you something. If somebody's doing funny conduct sexually, who's gonna be sick in the cellular activity in the anatomy? It's gonna be white people. They're gonna act the most fucked up, and that's like the front a certain type of way because they're the ones that are getting out of cover sick. Look at this. I just seen the stupid bitch on the internet too. With eyes closed, look at the bitch taking pictures with the bitch eyes closed and shit like she dead. That shit don't make no sense, my nigga. Anyway, man, it don't even matter to me, man. Y'all probably don't even give a fuck anyway. Some of y'all might not even look at my shit. Government, you know, tell you the truth, I think the people of the social economic government just wanted money, and they just, and certain things happen in the paradigm of martial arts and my wives and shit. So they probably just wanted money. They're gonna kill some of these people out there anyway, because a lot of people they're supposed to know about their education, and some of these people don't even know about their education and shit. Just like I'm telling you about your fucking your Jewish people, your bidet ass Jewish people. They keep telling me that bitch of one Swords has something to do with it. No, that bitch doesn't, my nigga. It's just like, yo, you ever had a mother that is like it's like a mother like Katana that reflects when somebody does her wrong and she comes home a certain type of way, and then I ran home like, yo, what the fuck is going on with you? Like, yo, I was somewhere, something happened. Then on top of it, I'm sitting in the house, this bitch come in the house, oh, I just feel my soul behavior. I'm looking at the bitch like, what the fuck is that? Then my wife used to see people back in the days during the time of Rome. My wife said, oh, no, no, you can't come around here like that. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't piss out there and shit out there. No, no, no. Here's a little bathroom. Here's a little outhouse and all type of stuff. Here, you sit there and do that and other. You wipe, you do this and this and so. And she used to put a little bucket out for individuals to wash their ass, you know. But, yo, listen, man. Listen, oh, man. I'm like, yo, man, I used to look at, you know, it was bad enough. I had to remember certain things with ice guys to go back, put a little, you see this, like, right here? It's like a little box cube. It's like a little sandbox cube you slide in the bottom part of the outhouse. Where people would take the shit, you put like a little sand, a little dirt in that shit. Well, I'll tell you, put sand, a little dirt in that shit, and then you take it, you pull it out, and then you go somewhere, you put a little smell good, you wash it out, put a little smell good, you dump the dirt somewhere, a certain type of area, and then if you don't want to use it, you just dump it, and then you mash it deep into the fucking deep into the earth soil a certain type of way. But before you do all that, you gotta literally put a little concrete. Like, you gotta go get a little concrete a certain type of way. You gotta get a certain element to put under the concrete. Then you put a little concrete. You put the element again to cover the concrete. Then you put another concrete over there. You put a little. You put a little sand. Then you throw a certain type of soil, and then you cover it with like a layer of a certain type of sheet, and then you put sand, you put concrete, cover with a layer of a certain type of sheet, then you put the sheet, then you put the dirt over it again, and then after you put the soil, you leave it a certain type of way open, so when you go there, you get certain dirt and you blend it, and then as people using the outhouse, if you see nothing is growing there, then you don't use that for certain type of soil and stuff. So I used to educate the Ice Galaxy about the situation, but it was like a lot of people didn't know that back in the days of Rome. They just thought they would just take this shit, dump it somewhere, and just do all type of shit. There was things that you had to do for preparation. It's just like I'm a man of praise. I never really been a man of prayer, but I've been a man of praise, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man that refines the situation of the reason of acknowledgement. I'm a man of honor, so when statures of acknowledgement has to be serious even in life. So, but there's a difference with other individuals and stuff. I'm a man usually use high quality elements when I do certain things. I don't do funny little things because one has to know about acknowledgement and when one's viewing a situation in conscience a certain type of way. So it's a difference in the reality, but then you have funny fucking people and shit that you know, Anyway, like I was telling you about the bitch face, like the bitch Siobhan. It's just like you put an animal. It's like you put an animal, you put a tag or collar on an animal, or you have an ornament, and then you have animals and people with horses come by, or you have a horse and you put a tag or element on their collar, and then all type of other situations. Somebody go touch something a certain type of way. You have an animal that comes, pisses, or drops some water, or pisses by, or shits by your element, and another person learning about their natural social economics habitation. They're learning about their higher quality of themselves, and then a person comes home like Fancy, telling you she sold her soul to Hades, and then she's looking like a form of katana. Is just showing you a certain type of form. You can tell, I can know when it's katana because katana shows you a certain type of physical reality of herself, and then she just shows you to get rid of the situation. But then you have individuals, they don't know, they thinking the empress is a certain type of way, and it's all because another person was negative. And again, I'm looking at my son picture, I can't even believe it. I gotta take a shit again, my nigga. I'm looking at my son picture, and I'm like, yo, is this my son? But I'm seeing somebody must have did some type of, what? Let me show you something. Betcha Selene is gonna get that nigga Young Bird killed. Remember I told you, that's my son, my nigga. Betcha Selene is gonna get that nigga killed. You wanna know why? Her side of the family was a little different from my rest of my family a certain type of way. And through time, they tried to do funny things. And a person doesn't know a certain type of rap sheet. You ever had, hold on for a second, my nigga, because, I'm a man, I'm going to tell you just like this. You know, listen to what I'm telling you, my nigga. A person says what's going on. You remember, listen, the girl Beyonce is like a mixture of Shield, Live, and Shay, and she was in the era calendar, the original Beyonce. She looks totally different. She is like the one that they wanted her to look like. She was of the era calendar, but the girl Beyonce is like a fucked up version of Donta. A real fucked up version of Donta, but she's a little age. Shay, Liv, and a Mushu calendar a certain type of way because another nigga. You remember Umba? You remember why I went out wild at niggas on Umba? Because other niggas was doing biohazard debris and they were causing forms of this. You remember there was a galactical war. So you had niggas that had girlfriends that caused, like, a nigga had to go out and get a girlfriend that had a certain type of distortion and create a certain type of distortion at a time because these are the things that he had to go get a certain type of way, and another nigga be doing certain things in the paradigm. So he makes something a certain type of way to go get it, and then he just do it a certain type of way. He just use somebody in physics a certain type of way. The individual that was doing that, it was like a nigga like Jay-Z, but the nigga's looking for my children a certain type of way. So, I'm not saying Jay's not my child and stuff a certain type of way and stuff, but there's things that happen a certain type of way that another person doesn't know too much about. And then you got the nigga Young Bird. That's my literal son. Like, that's the son of my purity, literally. A certain type of way. He's not of, he's of a habitation of acknowledging a certain type of way, but he's not from the anyway, I'm not gonna tell you certain things a certain type of way, but he's a person that has to be honored a certain type of way at a time, right? But the thing about the nigga, listen, let me explain something to you. He's moving with niggas that was already trying to get rid of me in a paradigm, and Youngberg had to learn. He had to learn about the historical event of the physics. I left a certain type of way for him in the physical reality. I left a certain type of physics for him, a certain type of way for his acknowledgement, and things happen, and then you have your Star Trek bitch, that is running around on a Star Trek ship, and when you look at Star Trek, and then the family a certain type of way did certain things, and they went deep into my wife's value because they tried during the time of the First Galactic War, they tried to kill Dontor. They wanted Dontor to go into the Dark Ages. So certain of my children had a certain oath of honor to their mother, but certain of the other ones was trying to manipulate it to go towards the Dark Ages because other people was causing destruction. Remember, my wife is an astrological empress. She has a planet Earths inside of her. So there were certain people causing distortion on some of her Earths that was causing her to react a certain type of way in the physical reality. And then you had people that was trying to turn into the Dark Ages. So you had people that was raping in her anatomy at a time of listen, atmosphere is a paradigm with a lot of clockwork. Then you had people raping into her anatomy of the people that tried to rape into her anatomy of the physical reality. And I'm the real value. I'm the one that really made it. So don't feel a certain type of way. I'm telling you because I'm trying to show you how real the situation is. You had people that tried to rape into her anatomy, that caused the confusion in the paradigm from other things that I did, and then it's just like, yo, listen, you ever been to a social economic system, and then some people are allergic to the pollen? There's a more level to that in physics when you're allergic to the pollen. It's like you might be allergic to certain of the foods because another person might have used food at a certain time. Because remember my other documentaries on saying this. I don't know, some people heard it and other things I spoke about on YouTube. Like one time I used to tell it, some of my ex-wives used to try to poison certain men that were my children because they were doing the wrong thing and they were being consistent about the situation, right? So some of the children and my other ex-wife, because she's the one that really did it, also poisoned the children, so I had to treat the children. So the energy of the poison had to, you remember I repelled it, so the energy of the poison had to identify. You're part of me. I'm using the bathroom right now. I'm literally on the toilet. I'm literally on the toilet a certain type of way using the bathroom. A part of me for a second. I'm just showing you. It's not nothing where anything. I'm just showing you how real the situation is. But the energy of the energy of the poison. I treated the situation. So in the paradigm, if somebody eats certain food, if somebody drinks certain drinks, if they don't know their dietary habit, they'll get caught up at a certain time, and a certain type of energy will come upon them, and they won't know what's really going on, and they'll get caught up in things that they're not supposed to get caught up in, and it'll cause them to be. This is when it comes to your metaphysics and mythology. It'll cause you to be a form of disorientation a certain type of way at another time. It'll cause like a disorientation, and then you'll be acting different from the physical reality. And if somebody doesn't know how to read and know the difference of the situation at the time, it'll cause you to go. It'll cause them to even want to hurt you, because if they don't know how to read the situation, it'll cause them to even want to hurt you or do a certain type of thing to you in the physical of the physical reality. And you gotta remember, when they do something to my wife, and certain of my wives is not a regular chick, because certain of the children didn't know the level their mother was on, and she had literal planets inside of her and earth so a certain type of way, and a person can't get to it. But if they do something, they gotta know the reason of the habitation. And then my wife, I call my wife mom, my daughter. Sometimes, I'm just telling. I'm not gonna tell you exactly what I call her, but I call her a certain type of name of acknowledgement because she been there with me from the beginning I'm the beginning of her habitation, and then the way I deal with her is because I used to have to be extra sensitive with her because of certain things that happen, even according to her quality of existence. There was things that she been through, so the way I speak to her is because she's a continuous of my wife's love because my wife really loves a certain type of way, and when she used to do certain things, my wife, she was one of the reasons that I started having other wives and stuff. My wife that was her head, the head of Dorpo. It was like my wife, she was the reason that I started having other wives of also a certain time, at a certain time, a certain type of way, and then. If say somebody poisoned the children, the energy will be on them, so I had to treat it and to get rid of it a certain type of way, so repelling it. So, in the paradigm, if the children eat certain things, do certain things, it causes like a trigger reaction to the habitation and things start happening a certain type of way. So, a person got to know their habitation to a certain thing, a certain type of way, so they can be able to recover in the physical a certain type of way, right? So, and then, you know, then you had chicks that was doing the wrong thing a certain type of way, like the chick from Star Trek. She, Captain Kirk took her all the way up in space and complicated his life beyond a time because it's just like, listen, if you have somebody, remember, during the time there was dark ages, there was people called the dark ages. The reasons of the dark ages is more than what you think in physics. It's not like a regular war that would happen on the earth only. It was a war, a galactical war that happened because it was after the times of love. It was people that was killing the higher quality of the higher intellect of the reason of the purity of the enlightenment of one's habitation. So it was called the Dark Ages. So you had people that was trying to devalue individuals' intellect. So they were causing the wrong type of acknowledgement in a paradigm. So when I was Kennedy, certain things started happening a certain type of way. And I used to warn people like, yo, listen, you can't have people a certain type of way in the physical reality, looking at individuals a certain type of way, and then, it's going to cause a certain type of acknowledgement, and it's going to cause a distortion in the physical, because you got to know the real science and the intricacies of the receptiveness of one's visual reality. You don't want to cause the ignorance, because something may be a time somebody has to pay attention to something, and you have somebody throwing off somebody's attention a certain type of way because of the way they look, another person might not be pleased, and then it causes deterrence. You don't want to deter nothing when it comes to visual anatomy and intellect of one's receptiveness of the reason of receiving translucid messages in the physical reality. So, I'm the real Dr. York, so I'm telling you certain things, paradigm. So, anyway, so then you had people that did certain things a certain type of way according to the acknowledgement of certain people. So then, you had like Captain Kirk taking people to a high point of depth and then learning about a depth reality, and then there wasn't the real empress. So it caused a form of distortion. It don't matter if a child is the eldest child, a certain type of way you'll do certain things because a child, it's just like a mother doesn't. You ever had a chick that argue with her mother and you be in the house and you be like, yo, what the fuck? That's like a miscarriage right there. Another person will tell you like, you have a chick arguing with her mom, there's gonna be a miscarriage. You know, you gotta be careful with certain type of things and stuff. So, you know, people were doing certain things a certain type of way and causing a devaluing of honor and sacredcy because there was no other chick that was supposed to be on that level besides my wife a certain type of way. She didn't care because she knew it was her daughter that came out her crotch. So she didn't want a person a certain type of way trying to devalue her pockets and saying that they're gonna go. You know how you have somebody say they're gonna go far, and the only reason why they go far is because of the habitation of the parents. So then you have a child that's stuck a certain type of way, they're just spoiling the physical anatomy of everybody else because they're just so used to living a certain type of way. And when they can't live that way, they get real vindictive or devious to the physical reality. So one has to be careful because that could spoil one's habitation. So the situation was serious a certain type of way. So you had you know, certain people a certain type of way doing certain things that was reflecting a form of acknowledgement of a habitation of my life at times at points of reality, and that was too close to certain of my emphasis because they have precise intellectual alignment, and then you had somebody causing a distortion of their depth of when it came to their receptiveness, like their current reality of the electric, you know, of one's receptiveness of conduct. So, and then, you know, it was causing certain type of situations, and then individuals was moving on a ship. So it was like a gunshot at a time. So my wife don't want the people get into arguments, and then my wife's daughter is threatening her a certain type of way, and then becoming like a deviant disease in her life in a certain type of way. Then my wife's looking at the situation like, yo, wait a minute, man. This is like somebody sent me some type of special bullet, a certain type of, you know, I'm a man that made cults and stuff, but she's looking at situations like the nigga sent me a certain type of bullet, a certain type of way, and you know, all type of funny thing and all type of funny thing on man. You man, your mother cut your mother's coming, your mother cut your blood, yo man, blow all your blood, you know what I'm saying? All type of funny thing, you know what I'm saying? My wife look at things a certain type of way, like rotten women, yeah. Top of the day, tell ya. All type of thing, you know, all type of hello, yes, well, my maiden, you know, like all type of thing, all type of different, acknowledgement when it comes to remember I'm the emperor, the real magi emperor of all space will be different, literally. You go to my wife and then she'll tell you, and then other people are mad that she be coming to me and she get like a supercharge, and then they be like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? It's like, then they mad because the fact is I'm the real husband, and then so that another person they get used to certain type of finance, certain quality they don't want to see their parents after a while because now it's like, oh, this nigga want money. Then all type of situation. I don't need nothing from you. I'm actually making money without you a certain type of way. So it's just like if a person is trying to devalue me, I'd rather them fuck themselves a certain type of way without knowing any form of education. So so the way I have to do things is different from other people. So then, I'm looking at situations a certain type of way because I'm like, yo, you know something, my wife is gonna look, another nigga is looking like a gold nugget in an electrical jar and shit. So, but it's not a gold nugget, it's just a gold jewel. And listen, I had gems that already broke, that dropped on the floor. Literally, in physics also. So another person's reality at a time may, you know how a parent saves a child. Another person might know something or made something happen a certain type of way. Then they have a person following the precise acknowledgement because of what they want to do to an individual because they want to intake the value. It's just like people that know about your land or about your house and they don't want you to go there because they know that you'll learn something that they don't know and they've been trying to find something out about your natural habitation and then when you because they want to go to your foundation of your purity to fuck up your purity so they can do something else a certain type of way at a time and then next you know when you go there they have you following a regimen and then they're trying to kill you. Because the fact is they know certain things happen to an individual a certain type of way because they've been stalking an individual. Just like being a movie star or a musician or a person of the higher quality in a high society and then they do fucked up things, you gotta be careful. And then when a person's not paying attention, like they tell you to go live a certain type of way and they don't want nobody knowing nothing about you because they're gonna kill you a certain type of way and they don't want nobody realizing what's going on about you. And then when they kill you, they're not killing you to do anything to you. It's a person ruining your life at a point of existence, and then they're doing certain other things. And then a man like me that saves your life, they're trying to already disconnect your body from your head. You know, I'm the head, I'm the reason. So and then disconnect. You just look. You know, and then you have a nigga that's been taking advantage of people a certain type of way, fucking up other people's conduct, and then you know all type of other thing, and you know, pardon me, you know, for a second, because one, I have to cover my reality a certain type of way. I just finished using the bathroom, and then. It's like a person, listen, it's like having a planet of purity. And then you have a person that tell you, let's take your daddy, let's take my economic system. And then the reason why they tell you to take my economic system because they know you have a planet somewhere else. And if you take away your conscience honor of the reason of order, then you'll lose all the order for all existence. You'll never have order. You'll never be able to be a king, an emperor, and then you'll just be a piece of shit. And just anybody doing anything to you at any time, and you can't do nothing about it. Because then it's like devaluing the reason of your dignity of your signature, and then just trying to take it, and then your mother becoming a number one escort or some whore, and then not wanting a person just to have any kids because another it's like certain of my wives can't have children because of things that my wives didn't want children. It's not that they can't have children; they didn't want children. Then I have wives that didn't. I wasn't having no more children with them, so I made sure I couldn't have no more children with them a certain way. And then my wives that other chicks try to kill, and their kids were being bad, and then having to handle a situation a certain type of way because if a person is doing wrong conduct and then they caught something happens a certain type of way in their physical concerning their habitation and to their high acknowledgement, they gotta be conditioned. But if they don't want a certain type of conditioning, and then a person is going to want to be wrong, you have another person somewhere else that wants to be strong when wrong. So then, I'm a man that's right and right. I'm Ralph Angel. I'm right and right. There's right and there's right, strength, and might when it comes to me, Ralph Angel. I'm right, strength, and might. Swift, even right, strength, might, swift, fast. All you want to look at. You know what I'm saying? Speed, whichever way you want to look at it. But another person somewhere else out there wants to be strong and wrong. So I'll tell you, I'm an original man. I'm an original right, strength, might, fast. How can I say this? Uh, 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 Speed, quick. You know what I'm saying? Before even the fast, swift. Swift. Listen, before even swift, gift. Then fast, speed, quick. You know what I'm saying? For real. And then you have bitches that's marrying other niggas that think they're gonna do something a certain type of way because their mother got planets in them. They think they could recondition certain things. Could they do something like this? They doing all type of things. Another nigga giving them drugs and not caring. And then you got chicks that's just like, yo, if you another chick probably in the family, like, if you can figure it out, then she doesn't care. Yo, the way she makes it conduct in the current field, because if something happened a certain type of way, you gotta remember, it's just like martial arts. You ever watch martial arts movie when niggas be injured, then they go certain places, they gotta heal a certain type of way, certain people treat them in a certain time, and then you say you have somebody following that type of conduct in a regimen of other people, what you think is happening and stuff, then, another person's life will be in danger a certain type of way. And if a person doesn't know, then I'm looking at the nigga Young Bird. I'm calling him Young Bird. That's fucked up. Young Bird. Let me be correct in my pronunciation. Young Bird, and then that's something else. You know what I'm saying? Because it's my child. And then you have what's it? Natalia Reed. The things I'm reading about her. Then I'm looking at certain things, and I'm like, look at my family a certain type of way, but majority of them I see it is some of the people that did other funny things a certain type of way at a time, got into things that they weren't supposed to get into. Other little things of the intricacies of my wife is like of her habitation, of her social economics, of her habitation, of her acknowledgement, and then you have individuals. All I'm seeing is individuals that went into the depth. That and then when you're looking for certain other things, then you have the funny wish-wash situation. It's just like when I told you about Jewish people and stuff. The Jewish people. Listen, in the cartoon Hercules, I made the cartoon. I told you, like, one day, Fancy came home and said something, but she was looking different. She was looking like some biohazard, like somebody done put the ass in the wrong place, and she didn't know about her higher habitation of her quality. And then she reflected a certain type of way, and I looked at her like, yo, listen, that shit tried to kill you. So that shit, imagine this. I made consecration. Consecration is making like forms of holiness for one's habitation of higher acknowledgement. If somebody came and tried to crack my consecration of my social economics or of the reason of habitation, it's gonna show at a time a certain type of way in the physical reality on individuals. But I'm gonna know the difference of who did it. So when I seen something, and you remember, my wife does golden body, iron body. So if I was doctoring my wife and I'm sitting somewhere and I'm looking to see what caused the situation, and then Fancy came home looking like a chick named Siobhan Florence. And she doesn't have nothing to do with the family a certain type of way. She doesn't have nothing to do with the families a certain type of way. And I'm looking at the situation like this. This is far, far off. And this is just wrong, because if you know the history, you're going to know something's really wrong a certain type of way. And then on top of it, I had situations with my wife Betty a certain type of way, and concerning Mushu, when individuals tried to kill her in a certain type of habitation in the physics. So when I seen Fancy looking at certain type, I said, listen, this is somebody causing tragedy on my land. This is going a little far, girl. I was like, yo, I told my wife, I have to go handle the situation, and then I went to go doctor the situation. But she was reflecting, looking like this bitch named Siobhan. And this, my own wife, Tashiba don't like the bitch. And on top of it, the bitch, it was something that happened with Tashiba. There's a reason of shit. Let me shut up, man. I don't want to tell you. But anyway. Then other people was raping, and then you got niggas that cause rapes in the paradigm, my nigga. You had niggas that literally went out there, was raping girls during the time of Nephilim and all type of things, and niggas was doing wrong things when they thought I wasn't around. And then I'm over here handling things that happen in the paradigm, bro. So I'm looking at niggas like, hey, I can do nothing for you a certain type of way. Certain things are happening. I'm like, that's too bad, good for you. It's like another nigga think he knows something. You ever had niggas that tell you, yo, I'm gonna hold you down. Don't worry, I got you when this happens to you. So I'm dealing with niggas. You got me. You listen. Yo, my nigga, it's not got me. Make sure I'm okay so I can get back and handle the situation because you can't know nothing about it because you probably want to, some of the other niggas are probably the pieces of shit that caused the situation and is prolonging the situation longer than the time was supposed to be and endangering niggas' lives and shit. Then they go around telling people, oh, we're going to go get me kids or me or you. Then I'm the oldest, then you have individuals that's on some rapist physical, filtering habitation of the higher empress, trying to get books and all type of things, trying to get into people magic. Then also because some people not around the parent not around, they know they're doing rape and all type of things, and another person happy with a certain condition because you don't never know who knows a certain type of martial arts. And then they just said, yo, I'm comfortable with that situation being like that for a time, and that doesn't need nothing. And then it's killing innocent people that doesn't need things, and that person needs it, but then where's the say so to say to stop? Then I'm over here, the nigga that can stop them, and then other people telling me, I got you, man. Then every little day, then they ducking and weaving, trying to get rid of niggas, telling niggas they got me. Then all they doing is scheming on niggas, having me sitting here watching other niggas fucking up the economics to their future. And then on top of it, telling them they got me setting up bad mechanic situations. And then looking at me like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And then they're looking over there, killing niggas, and then looking, oh, I got them. Then they trying to look like good guys. And when they're gone, who caused the Dark Ages? Yo, my nigga, there was a galactical war, my nigga. you have niggas that causing the Dark Ages of galactic war, and then I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm warning niggas ahead of time. Even yo, oh my god, I can't do nothing for you. You if you want to go the black route, I'm a man that made calls. Another person said, yo, you brandish a gun sometime. I say, you're virgin. My reflection bright virgin, even when we touching it. But if you just set a certain type of way on something, you can't be like that all the time because your virgin, let me tell you about my handle. Sing along, so give me the gal with the wickedest jam, with the wickedest slam, the kind of gal that makes you go along, wow. Your virgin, I don't want to get into stuff like that. Me, I want a gal with the wickedest. How can I just the wicked a crafting secure love. She already know the reason of moving the waist, is not whining the waist to love a man, so a man will never lose disgrace. Me lose disgrace, but me never lose in disgrace. Your virgin. Too bad for y'all. Then I'm looking at bitches, other niggas voting. It's like I'm looking at a hood party of niggas voting for a chick a certain type of way at a time, and then causing the death of my wife, acknowledgement a certain type of way because another person doesn't know something, and then when a person's okay, then you don't ever know the drugs that they on, shit that's happening, my wife crying, and then all type of my other, something, man? You have to be a parent to know what I'm speaking about. But you shouldn't even be a parent because that means you recondition your perfection that's causing your complication of your situation because you're hurting your habitation and exposing your inner frequency when your conscience is trying to heal. So that might be the wrong thing to do a certain type of way. If you're not in the plane of your purity, and then you're in a social economic system of a high intellectual certain type of way, and then if I'm supposed to be receiving habitations of form of refinement, of love, of re-strengthening one's habitation, then and then other men are telling you they need this and they coming, they doing this, and then on top of it they want to escort this, they want you to pay for this and escort this, and then all them niggas is doing is trying to manipulate you and already violating your secrecy by getting. So I don't understand. I'm not going to jail, my nigga. Another nigga's telling you jail is fuck you in jail because another nigga just want to watch you move in a certain type of way because he's just trying to put your back to the corner to fuck you up. I'm the one that owns this planet. I own all social economic planets and I'm here. So you think about what's really going on at the time. Yo, man, I gotta listen. I'm going to go take a shower right now. Or I'm going to go wash my ass because the things I'm going to get into don't end up fucked up like other niggas. And another person is so concerned about my privacy, when I put the cover in, it was tissue that was